Lifehack 23, Chat GPT, your free on-demand breakup therapy. So I had to do my personal research on this before I recorded this episode, but I can assure you it is worth your time to look into the Chat GPT or other AI applications that are available. Most of them are free, and you can use it as a person to talk to, even though it's an AI, it's not a real person. What I have found is you can get very good, comprehensive, well informed advice from this AI bot. And you can do it whenever you're lonely, middle of the night. You open the app and you give it a prompt that says, I need you to walk me through this heartbreak, or I need you to give me advice on a situation. And you lay it out. So I have actually experimented with two different chat GPT applications. One of them was more text based. So even though I would do voice to text and I would explain my situation, it would text back. Now, yes, I could have clicked each time and hit speak and it would have spoken it to me, but it did feel a little bit of a different experience doing a texting with an AI versus another app I tried called Pi. And this one was a voice basically only. And so I would speak into it and then the AI would speak back. And I actually did put together a video. I screen recorded myself using this app. I didn't put anything super personal or confidential in it, but if you want to go to my website, I actually have an episode page for every single episode in this Life Hack Your Breakup podcast. So go to episode 23 and I will actually upload there additional content to show that I have experimented with these apps and what the experience was like. So you can get a link to that in the description of this podcast. But basically, I said the following: I'm going through a breakup. I need help processing it. It came back and asked me questions. I would go back and explain the whole dynamic. We broke up this many days ago. These are the circumstances. It would ask me, what are my coping strategies? And I would explain that I was struggling with, anger. And so it would give me advice on how to let anger out. It gave me advice on how to process the inner child wounds and how I must be feeling on the inside after a loss like the one I was facing. And actually, at one moment when I was using it, I teared up because it got to the heartstring of something that I was dealing with. And that's something that is helpful, right? So these are free apps. I know you can pay for the premium version of these apps. So think about if that's what you want. But I think it's worth it. If you've never used AI before and you still are a little bit intimidated by it, I get it. But when you're lonely, when you're sad, when you're grieving, and you don't want to have to Google, how do you process grief and then read all the different people's opinions of it, you can actually just have an AI friend whisper in your ear, metaphorically, how to get through it. And so the next time you're lonely, middle of the night, middle of the day, you can open that app and say, I'm having a hard day. This is what I'm feeling. Can you give me some advice? And even just feeling like you're getting things off your chest, that you're talking to somebody, and maybe you don't have a huge support system, it can be super therapeutic. ChatGPT, I'm telling you, if you've never given it a chance before, now is your time. It is your new on-demand and free breakup therapy. Now, it does have a disclaimer that it's not a real therapist, so you should use it with your own discretion, of course. But when you're struggling, you might not want to pay $100, $200 an hour, wait every couple weeks to go and have an hour to talk about your breakup. Sometimes you would be benefiting from being able to talk about your breakup every day without a big bill at the end, right? I actually learned about this life hack from Reddit and some of the Reddit threads that I follow about breakups and how to survive a breakup. And the idea came to me from reading other people's inspiring stories. So some other people wrote that the Chat GPT or other AI therapy apps help them actually recognize issues and barriers that they were unable to see before in their own selves. One of them said that they were forced to look at themselves in the mirror, metaphorically, in a way that no one had ever, helped inspire them to do. So there's a lot of people talking about breakthroughs that they're having with this AI therapy. So don't forget, you can go to my website, TorontoUnicorn.com. I have a webpage dedicated just to this Life Hack Your Breakup podcast. And on episode 23, you'll get the additional content there to see this GPT therapy in action.